What's going on YouTube? It's your guy, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy, man. We cover fragrances on this channel, but I also like to throw you guys some grooming and fashion tips, stuff like that, just to make sure that I'm doing my part to contribute to some guys that's gonna go out there and look and smell their best each and every day. So if that's you, make sure you hit subscribe, man. Don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well, so that way when a new video gets uploaded, you get notified. All right, guys, so you see the title of today's video. I want to talk about some fragrances in my collection that I have that are really underrated when it comes to this whole compliment thing. Now, I understand the idea, the premise that not everyone cares about compliments, blah, blah, blah. I understand that, but as I always say, it doesn't hurt at all if someone pays you a nice compliment when you're wearing a fragrance. And a lot of people do want to hear about those kind of fragrances, not guaranteeing that anything will work for the next person, but just to know what may be working for you, and maybe you can try it for yourself and it works in that department for you as well. But anyway, the fragrances I want to talk about today are fragrances that you really won't hear much about on YouTube. What I've come to realize is that a lot of times there are very popular fragrances from a particular brand or a certain house, and then there are fragrances that are really good from that same brand or that same house, and sometimes, of course, that same line, and they're a victim of the success of the more popular fragrances. And so that's what you're gonna see a lot of today on this list, but I have 6. There's only 6 fragrances that I wanna talk about that are major compliment pullers that nobody seems to think or talk about. So if you wanna see what's on the list, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. We out here, we in it. Let's go.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're gonna jump right into it. Now, this first fragrance that I wanna talk about is actually the inspiration for this video. And the fragrance that I'm referring to comes from the brand of Prada. And this is Prada Lunar Rosa Sport. One of my all-time favorites. Juniper berries in here, ginger, lavender, vanilla, tonka bean are some of the main notes to my nose. And guys, simply put, this fragrance for me personally as kind of a grab and go, easy to wear, everyday fragrance, office wear, phenomenal. Powdery, kind of sweet. The lavender in here is clean, gives it that really mass appealing kind of clean freshness that you're probably accustomed to smelling in a lot of men's fragrances that features a note of lavender. Guys, just phenomenal. I can't tell you how good this stuff is. And this again is the inspiration for this video, because I wore this actually 2 or 3 days last week. It was really 2, then I threw it on kind of, well, 3, because I threw it on one evening as well. And so many compliments on this fragrance. And like I said, that's what made me think about this whole video idea. It made me go back and look at my collection to see what are some other fragrances that are really great, or in my experience have been really good at getting compliments that really flies under the radar. Nobody talks about it. And like I said, this was the inspiration for this video. I always have loved this bottle because I love red. And so I love the bottle. I love that lavender and vanilla and tonka bean combination in this fragrance. Again, it's kind of powdery and fresh and clean. Just so pleasant. And like I said, this most recent time that I've worn this fragrance, I got so many different compliments while wearing this, sincerely. And when I talked earlier about fragrances being a victim of the success of other fragrances, think about Prada Lunar Rosa Carbon. That was super popular from this same line, and rightfully so. It smells great, but it was mimicking the Dior Sauvage DNA, so a lot of people talked about it. Then you had Prada Lunar Rosa Black, which of course an amazing amber vanilla kind of fragrance. And amazing, a lot of people talk about that, but they kind of dismissed this one and some of the other good ones from this line, but this is phenomenal. So if you're looking for something, well, at least for me, it got a lot of compliments, but I think it's highly underrated. Check this one out, man, from Prada Lunar Rosa Sport. All right, guys, this next fragrance is one I actually talked about, but I didn't hear many other people talk about this fragrance, but it gets a lot of compliments when I wear it. From the brand of YSL, this is L'Homme Les Parfums. L'Homme Les Parfums. What you get with this one, man, is lemon, ginger, violet leaves. There's some amber wood, a little vetiver on the dry down on this one as well. Can't say enough good things about it. This one came out in 2020, and when I talked about it, I often mention the fact that I don't know if that year, which as crazy as it was in 2020, was the reason this didn't get more conversation amongst fragrance enthusiasts. I don't know, but man, when I tell you that this thing smells great, and again, just like Prada Lunar Rosa Sport, it's an easy wear. I mean, I can't think of a place or an occasion or a season that this would not be appropriate to wear. It is just, like I said, so pleasant to the nose. And like I mentioned with the other fragrance and what this video is about, it gets a lot of compliments. It got me a lot of compliments when I wore it. So if you're looking for another under the radar fragrance, again, in my experience, it's gotten a lot of compliments. Check this one out from YSL. This is L'Homme Les Parfums. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list comes from the brand of Polo, believe it or not. This is Polo Red Parfum. Polo Red Parfum, what you get here is blood orange, absinthe, lavender, orris, root, and musk. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just like Prada, the Prada fragrance that I talked about, that clean lavender in here, man, you really can't miss with that a lot of times, because lavender is in so many men's fragrances, especially the fougères. Just a note for me that always works. It always seems like lavender, if it's very prominent, makes it a fragrance that is great for office type wear. But this is much more than that, man. Like I said, a compliment machine. I had a 50 ml of this, and I gave it to my son. He ran through it, and then he and I both were using this one, so it's all the way down. It's got a nice dent in it. We rock this thing, man. This is one of those fragrances that, again, I just can't tell you how many compliments I've gotten wearing this fragrance. He's gotten a lot of compliments wearing this fragrance as well. I remember I complimented him when he was wearing it one day. It's just one of those scent profiles. Love the blood orange in this fragrance. Really juicy opening. It's a note that's been in all iterations of Polo Red, and really what the DNA is kind of built around, that blood orange note. But again, amazing when it comes to compliments, at least for me. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend this one, guys. From the brand of Polo Red Parfum. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of Dolce & Gabbana, and this one is Dolce & Gabbana Pome Intenso. You have probably seen this in all of your rack stores at some point. This is lavender, basil, tobacco, sandalwood as some of the main notes. And I think what happened with this fragrance is it doesn't perform that great. And a lot of people, I've heard people say that when they use the word intense, they expect it obviously to be a deeper, darker fragrance that really had great performance, and the people didn't get that, so they dismissed it. But all that aside, if you're not, this big, if performance is not one of those things that you put at the top of your list, this smells great. And that's what fragrances are about at the end of the day. Does it smell good? This smells phenomenal, guys. A kind of fresh tobacco scent, kind of would put you in the mindset of Versace the Dreamer, which is another fragrance that is clean and powdery but features that note of tobacco. Kind of puts you in the mindset of that fragrance, man. But this stuff is so good, man. You talk about a compliment getter. And yes, it doesn't perform the best, but again, that first 3 or 4 hours or so, you get in somebody's presence, they get kind of close to you. Gotten a lot of compliments over the years with this fragrance. And again, it's one that a lot of people kind of dismissed, and it was definitely appropriate for the topic that I am talking about today. It is one that is highly slept on, but man, this thing gets a lot of compliments. Just kind of has that scent profile, man, that scent profile that a lot of people gravitate towards. So if you never tried it, put your nose on it, man. Again, don't expect much in the performance category. It is about a 4.5 hour performer, but as far as smelling good and compliments, at least for this guy, this has worked. From the brand of Dolce & Gabbana, this is Pome Intenso. All right, guys, another fragrance that I feel like was a victim of the success of so many great fragrances from this range. This is from the brand of Replica, and this is Coffee Break. This is called Coffee Break, guys. What you get here is orange blossom, lavender, coffee. There is a quote-unquote a milk accord, pause, no diddy, all that stuff, tonka bean, and vanilla. So it's a sweet kind of take on a coffee fragrance. But as I've always said when I've talked about this fragrance, it's more like, smells like a latte. Not quite as much coffee. But you see this same combination, the lavender and coffee combination in New Harlem by Bond Number 9. But this is just a kind of powdery, sweet, creamy coffee / lavender scent profile. And on like a close encounter date type situation, this thing is absolutely fantastic. Gets a lot of notice, a lot of compliments, and it flew under the radar. Why? Because think of all of the stars, the superstars from this brand, you know, By the Fireplace, Jazz Club, At the Barbers, all these different fragrances that are really, really good. But this one is highly complimented and nobody talks about it. From the brand of Maison Margiela, the Replica line. Check this one out, guys. This is Coffee Break. All right, guys, and the last fragrance I want to bring to your attention is from the brand of Tumi, who's known for making luggage. And this one is called Awaken. This is called Awaken. This is grapefruit, cypress, clary sage, and cedarwood. This is actually my second bottle of this stuff. I had another bottle and I gave that one away. And so this is my second bottle. But again, mass appealing compliment getter. Kind of in that same vein of the Dior Sauvages of the world, which obviously all of you under the sound of my voice right now have heard of Dior Sauvage. But not many of you have heard about Awaken from Tumi. And it's just a really nice, clean, versatile scent, like I said, akin to the smell of a Dior Sauvage or a Dylan Blue from Versace, in the same kind of category. Anytime, any place, anywhere you can rock it, you're gonna smell amazing. And I've gotten a lot of compliments wearing this fragrance, seriously. So again, another one that, in my opinion, that doesn't get much conversation, but if you want to talk about compliments, it works. It works, it works. From the brand of Tumi, check out Awaken. But that is it, guys. That is my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I want to do something a little bit different. What are some fragrances you have in your collection that you feel like nobody else really talks about, but for you personally, it's gotten you a lot of attention or compliments? Drop those fragrances down below. I would love to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Now, as always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. I know you don't have to watch what you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darian. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.